Well, I was just thinking about that system of levers on the truck. At college, we would have had to draw the system, and then it would illustrate how it worked. Because so we had to draw the linkage of steering on any vehicle. Well, a twin axle vehicle. Well, one with steered front wheels, and we're to plot the trajectory and well, not the trajectory. We're to plot the angles of the steering arms to show that from full lock window in one direction to straight ahead, and to the other full lock in the other direction, they never quite align properly, the wheels, because the idea is you angle the steering arms that operate the steering, obviously, that turn the wheels. You angle them to point at the midpoint of the rear axle to correct that. If you draw a line through the center of the steering arm as it points towards the rear axle, it should cross right in the middle of the rear axle, and then that's as near as you can get to the correct toe out on turns. Because obviously, I've tried to explain this to some people, but it's not really interesting to them. But as a vehicle goes around a corner, the inside wheels take a narrower path than the outside wheels, because the outside wheels are further out from the centre. I can't quite visualise that either, because they steer about the rear axle. But yeah, I mean, obviously the inside wheels take a narrower path than the outside wheels, so you have to turn the inside wheel further to go around the sharper corner. But if you have a rigid-bodied truck with two steered axles at the front, it gets complicated, because the steering arms have to point at the centre point of the rear axle if it's only a single axle at the back. If there's two axles at the back, it's the centre point, midpoint between the axles, and they all have to point at that. That's all, as much as I can remember. But yeah, it's never perfectly accurate, but it's near enough. And why was I going on about that? Because I was going to build a quadricycle. I'm not going to do that with my car, because you have to get them down to 350 kilos. The engine in that complete is only about 10 stone. That's about 200 and, is it, I can't do that, no. It's not, no. The whole engine is about 10 stone. An Austin Mini cylinder block alone, that's the main casting in the engine, was 10.5. The cylinder block on that is 1.5 stone. But to get that down to 350 kilos, I'm going to have to remove an awful lot of stuff, and probably won't go like that. But yeah, I was going to build one with 2 bikes, electrified, but I haven't got around to that yet. I would have been better carrying on with that, because it's half done. But anyway, I shouldn't talk about that really, because I don't know. No, I won't damage that. But nah, I mean, yeah, I have to also get the Ackerman angle right on that, otherwise it wouldn't wear the size too much on that, because it isn't very heavy. But obviously it's easier to build a lightweight quadricycle weighing 350 kilos complete with batteries than it is to make one out of an old car. With 2 bikes is lighter than an old car, and you can have 5.5 horsepower or 4,000 watts, so it'll tow more. Or anyway, yeah, it's a bit more powerful. And it's not allowed to go more than 28 miles an hour. But the thing is, there must be a loophole, because they're literally completely plastic cars. They have 4 seats, and they'll do 70 miles an hour. There must be a loophole somewhere to get them through that. They can't do that with 5.5 horsepower. It just won't do it. Unless it wouldn't even do it with loads of gears. And that's the thing. It would never reach that speed. It just couldn't do it. Even with a riff, well, it wouldn't. It just wouldn't do it. But yeah, what am I on about? I don't know. I was on about, I've forgotten. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I've had my dinner. I've had a drink. Something to drink and that left to do. Anyway, who knows?